Ọ ihe anyị ji wee bịa. Ekenekwa m unu. Ọ ga-adịrị anyị mma, ndụ mmiri, ndụ azụ. Onye anwụna ma ibi efuna. Ọ ga-adị mma ka egbe belụ, ugo sokweli ebelụ. Onye asịkwana ibi ebena, maka isi ibe gị ebena, ihe ị hụrụ iwere, maka na ọ na-adị mma onye nọlụ ibi ya nọlụ, ụwa na-asọ. Ịghọtago? Ndewonu. Ana m ewetara unu ozi ekene site n'obodo Eliza n'ọgbakọ ndị Igbo nke Prime View Television na-ahazili anyị. N'uhuruchi a, ihe anyị ji wee maka ya bịa bụ ntigbu na nsogbu n'ezinụlọ, ya nke ndị oyibo na-akpọ domestic violence. Ọ bụ ihe ziri ezi? Kedu oge ọ ga-emerụ onye ọbụla edecidezie ịpụ? Ọ ga-adị mma ka nwoke tigbuo nwaanyị, ka ọ ga-adị mma ka ọ ka mma na nwaanyị tigburu nwoke? Maka na anyị na-afụ ụdị ọbụla. Anyị na-afụ ntigbu na nsogbu site n'aka nwoke, anyị na-afụkwa ntigbu na nsogbu site n'aka nwaanyị. Ịma na abịa na ọ bụrụ ọsọ n'ala Igbo, o nwere ihe meenụ generally ụmụ nwaanyị buru ụzọ tie mkpu dịka nwaanyị tigbuo nwaanyị, mana o nwekwara ụmụ nwoke anyị na-agabiga nya ntigbu na nsogbu n'ezinụlọ. Ndị ga-eso m wee nọrọ ya na mgbede a wee tinye ọnụ na ya bụ okwu, maka na a sị na uche bụ akpa onye ọbụla nya nke ya, wee gwakwana anyị ka ha na onwe ha si wee ghọta ya bụ ntigbu na nsogbu, wee kọwara anyị onwere otu ha nwa si wee mee ya experience, maọbụkwa na ihe ha fugolu ma ihe ha gụtagoro. Anyị na ha ga-anọrị na mgbede. Anyị nwere m ofu nwoke, nwekwa ofu nwaanyị, anyị na ha ga-anọrị. Onye mbụ m ga-achọ ka nkene ka ndubata n'ọgbakọ ndị Igbo n'uhuruchi a, ya bụ Prince Ezem Ihenacho. Uncle Prince ka m si wee na-akpọ ya. Ọ bụ ya bụ onye nke a na-akpọ Advocate for Humanity. Yes, ọ nọnyela anyị kịta all the way from America, from North Carolina, America, ka o si wee nọnyela anyị. Uncle Eze, no.
Ndewo, the Lioness. Okwu ịkpụ n'ọnụ dị m obi mma. Ndewo.
Daalụ. Onye ọzọ m ga-achọ ka anyị kene, ka anyị nabatakwuo na mgbede a. Ana m akpọ ya Tomato Biafra. Onye anyị na-ekwu maka ya bụ Barrister Adaoma Jennifer Ekwueme. Yes, Barrister, nnọọ ka ị na-agwa ụmụ Igbo.
Jide nke ije Adabuzo anyị, Adabuzo ndị Abia. Nnọọ.
Ndewo. Biko, Igbo bụ Igbo, ihe anyị na-ekwu maka ya bụ ntigbu na nsogbu n'ezinụlọ. Ọ bụ ihe ziri ezi? Kedu ebe ọ ga-eru, kedu steji ọ ga-eru mmadụ ewere aka ya gwa onwe ya nke bụ eziokwu, si ya ozugbo na ya chọọzi na ya agaghị emenwu ihe dị na ya? Ka ọ bụ ị gị nọrọ ebe ahụ? Maka na ndị ụka si anyị na what God has joined together, let no man put asunder, let no violence self put asunder. So ị ga-anọgide ebe ahụ ijiri maka ya nọrọ ebe ahụ etie gị, gbuo gị, ịgba nkịtị? Kedu ihe ị chere? Achọrọ m ka onye ọbụla tinye ọnụ na ya bụ okwu. Ka anyị gbapụ ya ọsọ. Uncle Eze, biko, ntigbu na nsogbu n'ezinụlọ, ya bụ domestic violence, ka isi wee fụ ya? What do you say about it?
Ndewo, the Lioness. Ndewo ndị Igbo na-ege ntị. Biko, iwe wekwuru ọnụ ma nwa otu English Igbo si bata, ọ na-ebiela obodo ala bekee ya, o teela ebi ure ya. So, but a ga-agbalị ka okwu Igbo sọsọ. Ụzọ ajụjụ abụọ ka nwanne anyị nwaanyị Adabuzo na-ajụ. Ofu bụ, ọ bụ ihe ziri ezi ntigbu na nsogbu n'ezinụlọ? Nke ọzọ bụ, kedu mgbe ọ ga-eru mmadụ sị o zuole, ka ọ bụ na a ga-ahụ isi ya? Nke mbụ ahụ, ihe m ga-ekwuwo na ọ bụ ihe na-ezighị ezi, ọ bụ arụ actually, maka na gị cheba ihe gbasara ihe echiche. Ọ bụrụ n'okwu bekee masị unu na under no circumstances ka ihe ọwụla wụ relationship hapụgakwala nke family and loving relationship, any relationship with fellow human being ekwesịghị inwe violence in it, maka na Chineke kere mmadụ ka anyị nwee nkwuwa okwu. That means onweghị ihe nọ n'ụwa a na-enweghị ike iji okwu wee kwugide kwupụta usoro esi aga ya. O nwere ihe ndị bekee na-akpọ agree to disagree. The worst situation anybody ga-reach n'ụwa awụ in any situation reach a situation of agree to disagree. At that point, unu emene explore everything. Onwezi ihe from na say okay ka emezie agree to disagree until enwe new information. Enwezie new information, then you can go back to the same thing again because only another angle one person bring and I consider them. And until make it there, somebody I want to be again we can mean that I the too impatient no why potara. And then to think that name Rikiji Ogonamba measure ya but Ogonamba was deep know the problem. So kam gara ịgatụ from Raman na ndị treaty on nnukwu dị ahụ. Ihe dị mkpa ịza na ajụjụ ahụ na nke mbụ wụ na ọ bụ arụ na o nwere any relationship n'ụwa wụ human being versus human being eji violence resolve ga. Ma afọzie relationship nke a sị na ọ wụ a loving one maka ọ na-agba mgharị otu mmadụ echisi ya love bụcha mmadụ ya kụgbucha ya. Ya gakwa ari ihe ọwụ ha mege ha emewa ha kwa ma moti ga-echikogbocha mmadụ ga-abido akwa okwe m nghọta. So na that part I'm na-asị na ọwụ ajọ ihe ọwụ arụ ọwụ enweghị nghọta ọwụ poor upbringing ọwụ poor background ọwụ poor experience ọwụ psychological problems that lead the people to be lashing out, to believing no a way to solve problem. You are worsening the problem by doing that. The second one, I say, Ozole. In fact, based on what I know now and the much I have experienced in this life, but if somebody can be violent to you once, I'm sorry, they are likely to do it again and again. So I think for me, or something not tolerated at all. Yame halofu zawishigi makana onwebe honye zaranna na lili aneshi na lili azanna nakwa neshi na lili azanne aka mma na edigodo ndo first before geza wanne na maka the thing they keep carry people in this thing wo ụmụaka ana-ekwu maka ụmụaka say ka di we na ọ ga-adị mma ọ ga-echange a ga-eme nke a ga-eme nke ọ ga-adị nnọọ mma a na-edi na-aga okay ma ọkwa no other commitments ya wụ mortgage ya wụ nke asị okay ka a na-aga ka ele mgbe ọ ga-ebi mmadụ kụwaghara gị ihe akụwa get ya used to ego gị ihe ọ na-adị difficult asị a na-enwekwe change mgbe ụfọdụ enwere mgbe ụfọdụ nweta na change asị change ele but ọ na-eshi ike ọ naghị adị easy. So for me o kwesịrị ịwụ something na-ekwesịghị ịdị tolerable at all. Mgbe ọbụla o riere its head you just give way until onye ahụ prove na ọ gaghị eme ya again because ịgbaghara nnọkwa dị again ọ ga-emekwa ya ọzọ. So for me o kwesịghị inwe mileage at this stage from what I know. So ndewo.
Daalụ sọ ndewo Prince Ezem Ihenacho ikwuru ọfụma ndị oyibo si na keywords. The keywords ikwuru dem nji aka ọfụma bụ na ịkpọrọ ya arụ ọ bụ ihe na-ezighị ezi o kwesịghị ime isetịpụ aka tie mmadụ ọzọ ihe ọ bụgodu nwoke tiri nwaanyị bụrụ nwaanyị tiri nwoke o kwesịghị ime n'ụzọ atọ. Enwere ihe a na-akpọ dialogue egwe sọtụ onye anọrọ anị onye ọbụla kwuo ihe bụ iwu ya amalụ ma ihe ga-ekwe wee mee. Ị na-agwakwa anyị na enwero limit ọ bụghị ka oke o tie m ugboro 5 before m pụọ onye a tiri gị ugboro 5 ga-eti gị ugboro 6 tie gị nke 7 maybe tinyezie gị n'akpati na nke 8. So ejere nọrụ na-eche ka na onye a ga-agbanwe onye ahụ ga-agbanwe. Okay, ka anyị nụrụ ihe Barrister Jennifer ga-agwa anyị maka ya. Barrister Jennifer onyenwa bụ founder Helen UK Project, ọkwa project na charity na-afụ maka domestic violence. Ka anyị nụrụ ihe ọ ga-agwa anyị. Barrister, ịnụgo ihe Prince Ezem kwuru, kedu limits or maybe kezi maka onye ahụ change ya, onye ahụ change ekwanụ saying, you know, may I swear to God I will not do it again. Ka anyị nụ ihe nwere ike ịgwa anyị.
No, Adabuzo and Prince Ezem. Dalo. Ajụjụ gị wụ onye ahụ change ya. Viewers, I will apologize. I will be using English most of the time because of domestic violence. I don't think enough language was in Igbo language to actually explain the gravity of domestic violence. And we haven't invented out those words yet. But I'm going to try as much as possible to speak Igbo. But it's a onyahu change, yeah.
Onye ahụ promise ye say okay na ya kụrụ gị ihe this time na ya ma nkụzi gị next time ka anyị gawakwa n'iru dịka ihe anyị na-ahụ kịta anyị ga-akpọtụrụ nke ahụ n'oge na-adịghị anya.
Anụgo m with some charities na eleko ụmụ nwaanyị nwere domestic violence. Some of them like Sodok Solace, victim support. Get for that ndị na-anọla na the same vicious cycle for years with the same individual with the promises of onye a ga-change and I change. The only thing ha na-eme will devise another means. The key word there, the rule is that an abuser can never change. Ha na-change. But enwere ike transfer ya from physical violence to something else. And that is the reason why domestic violence now, and they use most often domestic violence. They use domestic abuse. And abusing is an abuse. And when it's some kind of abuse that is worse than physical abuse or the violence, that is not mostly seen. And the madana here is under the carpet, and which can be very more dangerous than physical abuse. So an abuser, and that's one thing I presume recognize that most of the time abuser will normally go, although the statistics is still much, but not suffer domestic violence. But the thing is that each time after domestic violence, it seems to be a woman problem. It's far from it. But there are still men. So be it woman, 95% of the time, statistics show that honey change. What they do, it will devise another means. They found another means that works for them. So when you from physical violence, then they are moral abuse, mentally and psychologically. The person will slowly, will be dying slowly. But there is no persecution. Unfortunately, in the eyes of the law, there is no way you can bring it under prosecution. How do you prove I'm not abused mentally? It's your choice. So the burden of proof is on the person that is being abused, which most of the time it is very difficult to prove that somebody may abuse emotionally. So even our community, they take it seriously with the physical one because I have injury now. So the proprietor only abuse can easily be charged with grievous bodily harm. Whereas in the other ones that is being neglected, they're worse than the physical abuse. So the answer is change. Rather, Anna devise another means. An abuser is always an abuser. And that's it. Yes.
Dalu, I am not going here. Ise anyị na onye ọbụla na-eti nwaanyị ihe, onye ọbụla na-eti di ya ihe, onye ahụ anaghị akwụsị. Iche na ha akwụsịla, ha devise another means. Maybe opposite from physical, banyezie mental or emotional. Mana ọ dịrị ọnụ mmanụ ọnya ka anyị na-ekwu maka ya. Biko ka anyị nebatu obele anya na that trending video nke nwa nwoke tili nwunye ya ife. anyị ga-eneba anya n'ife gbasara ya. Biko my CEO ọ ga-adị oke ịtụnyela anyị vidiyo anwa ka anyị nene tụnyela anyị that video.
Hello people, my name is Ihenacho. I'm a doctor. I've been married to this man, Pius Ambo of Channels Television for 6 years. And for 6 years, I've known no peace in this marriage. It's been from one woman to another. Sleeps from one woman. Just had a baby. It was a cesarean section just about 4 weeks ago. Just because I told him to spend wisely and not spend on women so recklessly, considering that we have 4 children and these children have to be trained. That's why I got this beating. Tried to strangle me and all that. Sat on my incision and everything. My children were crying. And I was pregnant with this child. When the pregnancy was 3 months. It was the same thing. He would sit on my stomach, hit me, try to strangle me and all that. Calling him out, he works with Channels TV. His name is Pius Ambo from Benue State.
Mommy, sorry.
Thank you.
Put your hands away! Don't be hands to me! You have to!
Nke a bụ nke ndị ọcha na-asị chop my mouth, o riri m ọnụ. Igbo bụ Igbo, unu afụghị ife nna afụ, unu afụghị ya. Nke mbụ bụ nke nwoke tiri nwaanyị. Nke abụọ bụrụ nke nwoke kwa tiri nwunye ya. Ọ dịrọ mma. Uncle Eze, ka ife nwere gwa anyị na vidio ndị efo kịta.
Jesus Christ. Even anya m ji ele in fact ntị m ji anụ ya anụ na-enye m nsogbu ma afọzi anya eji elege. Ịma ihe m chọpụtara na arụ a maka ihe awụ arụ, imechaa life assess very well, ị ga-ahụ that ọ gwụchana ụmụ anụmanụ na-enweghị means of expression, na-use their fist and their mouth. Chineke kere human beings to use their brain and their mouth. Aka wụ ihe eji eri ihe na ihe eji take care of the body. Ọ wụ ihe a na-eji akụ mmadụ ma ọ wee chọọ ihe a ga-eme. Ihe awụ psychological problem. I can guarantee that. And ịma ihe m chọpụtara n'ihe a, one of the things without
Ọ dị ka anyị enwego obere network problem. Anyị enwego obere network problem. Ọ na-ajọ na anyị from across the Atlantic. Nsogbu adịrọ, adị m sure na ọ ga-anachite ka ọ gwa anyị ihe o lụrụ. Barrister Jennifer, kedu ihe ị chere na vidio ahụ anyị gosi?
Speechless. Absolutely speechless. The first video, the woman, the lady's video. All is so sad that at this point in time now, our brother woman, Soyana, is damaged based on that violence now. All those children, mommy, sorry. As a matter of fact, as a mother, that is where I lost it. So, where would you draw the line? Is that not where? Now, this has become a generational thing. Umutakira, obviously, are growing up. Now, thinking tomorrow, here with the right person, why? The father must have witnessed such thing, or bruising a cycle. They don't feel anything. As no more so they learn very fast.
Yes.
And the best place to learn is within environment. Environment, the best place. anything that they grow up in life and become part of them. Only one abuser, trace ya to 2-3 generations back. And when stories, and when a link, and when in fact, you don't just wake up and be an abuser. That is one thing people don't think. You don't just wake up from sleep and become an abuser. There is yes, these people, it has been a trend, it has been a fashion. They grow up seeing it. They believe that is the best way to treat a woman.
Yes.
To them, or in fact, that son, that boy, or no with serious counseling, and if light a shade degree, this is wrong. That boy will continue with the same cycle because that is the life he lived, and that is all he knew. So the second video, as a matter of fact, will a very clear evidence of mental health. Only a mental problem. Now that is everyone different kinds of domestic abuse. The second video, that man, especially caged, that man should be caged indefinitely. Because if only the woman on a fight was armless. Yeah, we see boot warrior once.
Right.
Yeah, where are you on?
Hi.
That is not normal. You can't even hit an animal.
It can't be normal.
Like that. You can't. If you have a dog in your house or a pet, you can't even do that. And you're doing it in a mere to a woman and a fellow human being. To me, that person in fact, that person should be sectioned. Onya needed to be sectioned. There is no two ways about it. So those videos that were, in fact, I don't know, honestly speaking, I am speechless.
Imana o nwere ndị ga-apụta ọsị gị na ọdị ya etinyekwa n'ọnụ, ọ nwunye ya etinyekwa n'ọnụ, mana ihe a na-emebi akwa mmadụ nọ na ụlọ anwa na-evidiyo that episode. Mmadụ na-evidiyo ya, onye ahụ na-evidiyo ya ọ naghị ewere ike ahụ o ji evidiyo datin jide nwoke a si dede nne, because onye vidiyo ihe a bụ vidiyo ya ọfụma. So it wouldn't be a child.
I'm sorry,
yes, of course, yes. Oh, defender.
And they are a very good point here. There's somebody on a video this thing. In fact, here the most crucial angle to domestic violence. That is, every abuser, every domestic violent individual, supporter.
Yes.
And listen to this. Whether genetic threat. Okay? Family connection. Get check anywhere. We have family now. Get check here the parents. Be in peace. The parents are not him alog. Umunne awundi na alog. Awundi na support here. You will never find onyaho ga when we kill an abuser or a domestic violent individual. Somebody name here. O nwere na support here. Ma wo nne na support here. Ma wo brother na support here. Ma wo sister na support here. Trace the history. Igaho violence in that family. Mbo will check a human being and we be trace of violence in them. A papier and we be violence in them. On a difficult onya he was the violent person because so munya gahana batea. Ikuni bagahana batea. Onya hagahan demwe, ihunaga dekwe ya try ya. So and all the impact I got now, every psychological crisis going on in some of these people because they find ways to justify their actions. One, in fact, sometimes I get claim abuse because sometimes I want to claim looking for justification for this level of violence. Okay, they will try to make you believe that you only don't preempt their actions because like my sister, Barrister Jennifer Nekudia, normal because and the Monday video go Mandina support abnormal individuals. And the sadness in it was that society, in society, there were too many of them. Too many of them. Mandina support this evil. Mandina feed. Mandina give the listening ears to all these abusers. Oh, these are all party to the sadness. But I need really bold enough to attack these things. In fact, when they were abuse drug into it to prove you are an abuser yourself. How no one had make sure now how I make it abuse because you have power to make sure no one how abusers are. The thing is, there are so many dimensions to it. These abusing partners they are crazy, very crazy, because they learned Hanaga to keep this behavior. Na tojo, giwote ofuma on na tojo. Ma they learned Hanaga to make sure they sustain it. They learned Hanaga to make sure that they justify it. They learned Hanaga to change their mode of operation because they can't leave the behavior. This is why only noticing always violent person. One way to exit because all now difficult. Here has a change, not adult personality. Adult personality are very difficult to change. People need to understand it. Zowa Ishigi, you have to be alive first before you answer a mother. You have to be alive first before you answer a father. You don't answer a father or a mother or play any role as a father or a mother in the grave. You have to always remember that wherever violence is present, the part of the consequences of violence is death or permanent injury. So every sensible person needs really alive to it and take yourself out of any situation where violence is. When you try to justify or moderate or not easy. That's my view.
Anogo m ihe kwuru Maazị Ezem. Ịma ebe ụmụaka dị involve, ebe nwere ụmụazị, ọ nara adị easy to pull out. Okay, ka anyị were this case a kịta nke Dr. Anụwa. Unu hụrụ na the governor of that state, Benue State, jeru doziere ha. The governor jeru doziere ha. Nwata nwa agbọghọ pụtasị anyị na ya agbaghalugo di. Nke anyị na-eme tigbuo zọgbuo kịta, ya na di ya nọ. Ka ihe nwere ikwu maka nke a, maka na ndị mmadụ na-ekwu na ihe gọvanọ mere ajọka, ihe o mere ajọka, na onye a ga-eme again, maybe the next one kịta ogbuzie nye egbuo, na ọ bụghị isetụlụ ha bụ ebe okwu ji. Ọ kaala ifine like ihe nwanne anyị nwoke na-ekwu, chọgodu ihe na-eme because onye tiri nwaanyị mụrụ nwa ihe etu a, ọ ga-enwelili ihe na-eme ihe n'isi. Ya gara ịchọgodu solution otu a ga-esi nyelụ the man aka dan isi na ijelu dozielu ha biwakwa ọfụma, ha na-abụ apụta na-amụ ụfọdụ na-akụrụ the governor aka. Ihe gọvanọ ahụ mere ọ bụ ihe ziri ezi? Ka ihe nwere ike ịgwa anyị, Barrister Jennifer? Was it the right thing to do?
Oge m hụrụ the video, I was much more disappointed in the governor's approach to it than the abuser himself, to be honest. With all due respect, the honorable governor of Benue State should be very much ashamed of his action. At all. And again, ask him, the period, opportunity this governor should have used to create an awareness. This was a very good opportunity. The Munye governor could use create an awareness in this epidemic. Domestic violence in Nigeria was an epidemic. It kills more than anything. In a year alone, there was 1.something million recorded. And as recorded, this is in a country that there is cultural and religious issues that can stop people from coming out. But over that, how with such statistics, here at times here by 10.
Yes, absolutely.
Here at times here by 10. Only now report to domestic violence in Nigeria. Who has been persecuted? To the extent of Imbuzi, At the end, before they do to the extent of killing their spouses, Obi the other day. There has been several attempts and they may ignore. There has been fighting, there has been throwing of punches before Onya gathered to the step of killing them. But had the very quick in hand Onya's death sentence as if they're sharing a palliative. But when Onya got pota, see, okay, this is what is going on. And when charities have gone online, have researched domestic violence in Nigeria. And when the charities in Nigeria say that they are, fighting domestic violence against women, I have never seen anybody, I hope one person that has been brought to justice or served a prison sentence for domestic violence.
Domestic violence.
Yes. I see when you can criticize the governor. If you have checked Nigerian constitution very well, I want to have a panel code, which is a part of Nigerian constitution. Section 55, subsection 1 of that panel code encourages domestic violence against women. It's in Nigerian constitution. Till tomorrow, go and check it. It has never been amended, even in the 21st century. Then the girl says, how do you hold this governor accountable? I was disgusted by what he did. It's like you just, and one thing is that why you gave this guy a pat on the back because of a channel TV staff, then the lady, gaslighting, you make her feel like, oh, it's my fault. Maybe I was delusional. Maybe I shouldn't have done this.
I went too far.
So, this man perpetuated this kind of violence, and the governor of a state, a whole governor of a state, a year pass. Then there is no hope. Absolutely no hope. There is no hope for Nigeria in terms of domestic violence.
So sign
and sealed. Or sign they are sealed. They are saying, continue. That is exactly what is going to happen. And every other person doing such thing. The video, the woman, she came out to pray for my family. The governor acted like a father. If the governor was a father, he will ask you to leave the marriage.
I'm telling you,
your father cannot see a man do that to you. Even your own brothers, they will go and kill that man.
They're going to deal with him.
They will make sure that man doesn't see the following day. So that governor did not act. That statement is over-exaggerated, and I think is wrong. He didn't act like a father because he acts like a father. He will advise you to leave that marriage. I am a victim of it. And unfortunately, even after we created the foundation, I have never spoken publicly about it. I'm a victim. I had several court cases. And to tell you that, and when I was attending a church, that the pastor at once, I got him look, advising me, my daughter, with him now, get out.
Wow. At least
yes, he said, I wouldn't be responsible. I'm going to be responsible for anything that happens to you, which most of our pastors in Nigeria and the or heads or whatever, community heads or any person that found himself in a position of authority, name. Yeah, I would not want to be accountable for it. This is getting funny now. So what I will tell my own child is what I'm going to tell you now. So, and at the end of the day, I am not actually holding him. And one thing again, that no matter what, you got through domestic violence, you will leave. It has to be your decision. And when so many people can be preaching to you for years. The day that you want to leave, or your sole decision, you will have to do that. It will be minor thing. People don't know it. Somebody can go through domestic violence for 10 years, not at the marriage. But one day, or something very relevant. That decision has to come from you.
That's right.
That decision yes. But again, what we are saying is a bit diverting. The governor. In our language, try at all. Try. No, that was. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Okay, Emeka OJ, thank you. Otu join Emeka said the mental health of people should be put into consideration before engaging into any relationship. Relationship or not talk sugar. Why do I remember mental health? onye ọbụla iche eyiri nu shirt yiri trouser iche na onye awụ mmadụ mgbe ụra atọwara ụtọ ekwewazie ya ekwewa maybe mgbe ahụ ọ dịla too late just maple like that. Johnson Ifeanyi Ugwu also, the governor is a disgrace to his office. He officially instituted domestic violence against women in Benue State. Nigerians should have protested against that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because o merụrụ the woman ahụ, at least a persecute enya ọga mkpọrọ ndị ọzọ were ya mụrụ ihe n'agbanyeghị position ya n'agbanyeghị onye ọ bụ ọ kara itinye that guy ọ bụgodo 1 month o jee jail 1 month mosquito atatu ya ịghọtago o mara ihe next time o chee before tie nwunye ya ihe. Barrister Njideka Nnadịrị Nnedalụ ka isi wee nọnyere anyị ọ sị I agree. Domestic violence is very dangerous. Abusers cannot change overnight. Make haste while you can. Also, ichena ka o mee ya ugboro na-abụ mee ya nke ịtọ especially because mụnwa feel na Chineke nyere gị opportunity ahụ iji wee dị ndụ na nka. If okay, that lady now akụrụ iron ọ gbaba na room, the man actually achụbakwa na room. It is sure no o foruchi maka na ọsọ ji achị ọ bụ na room ahụ akpọchighị akpọchi ọ ga-achụbi ya there and ọ ga-eti ezigbo ihe ọ ka ga-emerụ ya ahụ. Ọ dịghị mma iti nwa mmadụ ihe onye ije enụta meka na-asị another area that causes multiple domestic violence is the interference of friends and family members in the marriage. Ihe a confirmụrụ ihe Prince Ezem kwuru. Onye ọbụla efuru na-eti nwaanyị ya ihe ọ na-eti di ya ihe o nwere ihe na-egwuru ya nkwa somewhere. Ida na papi asị gị nne okwu next time ma waa ya ntị anọ m here what if eme ọ na mama ya asị ya gịnị nna gị na-ekwa m anya n'iru one day okwu gwarụ o mee machie ya ntị hey nne anọ m gidigba m ọkara ị gaghị ekudi azụ ga-azụ ito na family love na-achị ịlụzie nwaanyị ọ ịbanyezie into relationship ịghọ agụ ọ dịrọ possible at all. Uncle Eze ka njukene ịma na most of these times ndị Igbo ga-asị gị a na-eji maka ụmụ eri ọnụma ụfọdụ n'ụmụ ime ụmụ nwaanyị anyị o socha n'ihe ọ na-eji ya dịka anyị siri ọnwụ nọgide ebe ahụ ụmụaka dịra involve ọ na-afịa arụ. Kedu advice ị nwere ike inye ma o ruo na stage ebe ịmakwa na ụmụaka nọ there ụfọdụ ga-asị gị jiri maka ụmụ gị kasie obi jiri maka ụmụ gị nọrọ jiri maka na mpaghara ebe anyị nọ ọ dị easy na nwoke na nwaanyị kewara nwaanyị chịrị ụmụ ya pụọ gọọmenti enyere ha aka mebi nchọtara ha ụlọ mana be anyị ịma na nwoke na nwaanyị kewa nwaanyị ga-esi na be nwoke kwara pụọ so ọ na-afịatụ ezigbo arụ ichehụ na ụdị ihe a nwere ike ime domestic violence na-adị mmụọ na be anyị.
Oh yeah, in fact, the imoye mjine kuse anahaza mama na lili, anakwana papa na lili. But we very, very powerful hold back. Even in the botra Lucina, anocho anaha bajoso. Mafoze madu. More even as a man, how difficult all day. Mother vacate a place where man involved. And easy stuff. And all where we bet this thing are difficult. All you won't get the whole thing hinge. Now, in fact, all where we we most with the governor. The only reason India take each too deep or Nabrian feel that it's a shame that society in Gazaga, Nigeria, a place where people dive into issues they know nothing about. Yes, I equate it to some of the things I saw whilst practicing as an approved mental health professional in London, where some pastors want to assume the position of psychiatrists. Okay, they don't know that there is limitation to what they can do. So
That's
ultimately
true.
equate to that situation whereby a governor was intervening in an issue yeah, one name we have understanding of. So and I wish that all Otraya and then play a role when it may assist the area Makana ihe o kwesịrị imewu to enable this woman, okay, whether it is financially or otherwise, to be able to at least come away from that situation, to show that this is what is expected, that you support anybody, especially women, get through that and secure them first. Always there, mechanical work I got with this man to get him to first of all understand that okay, that the man, this governor would have taken this opportunity to aid and show that no way she support to a woman not she because here the most difficult trap anywhere now that place is like Nigeria, that na a woman not she on the difficult.
Exactly.
And then people like this governor now what Ihenacho. Yeah, depend what. So a lady like my sister said, oh, Jennifer. At the point they won't lose all hope na Nsogbu no here. And I can see why she's feeling that. More also somebody I'm not like he give up on humanity, but look at what is on the ground. Nani Hega sustain is we are dealing with an impossibility God who only react when things are impossible. I don't require intervention from God somehow. Otherwise, I Nsogbu here, especially for a woman trying to vacate or leave an abuser in that geographical location.
Yes.
Or they quite easy. All the tough. Ọ dịghị
izi nwanyị ịhapụ ụlọ di ya relationship ya maka domestic violence na be anyị maka na mgbasa nwoke na nwanyị na be anyị ọ nwanyị ka ọ na-aka afịa arụ ọ nwanyị na-asọfa ya. Johnson Ifeanyi Ugwu ọ sị the husband is psychologically sick and needs help since the domestic violence was repeated severally. The man should be taken away from the wife, else something more dangerous will happen in the nearest future. Many women have been killed by their husbands because of the social tolerance of domestic violence. Ọ bụrụ na ụmụnna ga-eme meeting kpọọ nwoke si anọla anị taa anya ụta rie ya iwu otu esi kwụọ nwunye ya ihe ọ gaghị na-eme mana ịpụta ụmụnna asị gị gịnị nwa ha nwoke ha were culture sie sochie nya azụ ọ dịghị mma ụmụazị na-atazi afụfụ and ọ bụghị na onye anwa dị nwaanyị na ndị be ha ga-anabata ya ụfọdụ ga-asị ya ọkọrọgo ka iji anataba anyị na gị bizọ ihe nachikwa ebe dị ha nara enwechada support unlike ọ bụrụ obodo a gọọmenti enye gị ụlọ ị na-ebidokwa Uncle Ezeke ife ịchọrọ ikwu.
Because in fact, I wouldn't know Monna, honestly speaking. Your brothers and sisters and mother and father stand there that they cannot tolerate it. Otem nubua, am umunnem ni na mamha. Make nwoke nwe ka m ga-anụ na ha halia ka ka di ha ma ọkọ nwunye ihe ga mmadụ ha ma what my stance will be. Okay, the same way otem ugbu a ụmụnne m dị sure na m na-akụ nwunye m ihe. Yeah, I'm with their stance on it. My parents were teachers. We never saw them. Okay, so one part of our culture. So in where any of my siblings, hey, as any of my siblings are near, oh, of course, it's like you are ostracized. They will tell you categorically. So you wouldn't come on and no more. What about the immediate family? What is their stance on this? Because if we can get the immediate family to say total zero tolerance, the whole thing will change. Like I said to you, somebody say, hey, somebody is violent towards me. Bidokule from that person, check their history. Mama violence or because once violence were part of a family, yeah. The way the thing watch why on agadia the violence. It is happening. So in fact, this is just what I have. In fact, in one of the books I wrote, I brought me the generational component of domestic violence. And you me a chapter because I've been chapter now. Generational components to these things like domestic violence. So that it is scary. It is scary for me now. Him now going the thing. Whatever it takes, if you can, if you be don't at least okay. In Nigeria, ever saw all the difficult. We don't play the planning of looking for an exit. We don't play at least. Don't just think now you are going to die in it or you're gonna carry on. At least we don't play that planning. We don't seek way help. So long as if you're not in the mode of trying to get away from it, there will always be an answer. The problem is that people are not geared towards looking for an exit. They are hoping that the individual who is an adult with an adult personality will change overnight. And don't below generation matter. That's the thing.
Dalo, I know Rofina Demora, I'll say domestic abusers may feel this need to control their partner because of low self-esteem, extreme jealousy, difficulties in regulating anger, and other strong emotions. Or when they feel inferior to the other partner in education and socioeconomic background. Some people with very traditional beliefs may think they have the right to control their partner and that women aren't equal to men. You know, some of the things when it can lead to domestic violence, Ntigbu na Nsogbu n'ezinụlọ. Mgbe nwoke filo na nwunye karịrị ya, ọ na ọ gụrụ akwụkwọ karịa ya, ọ na ọ na-eme mpako karịa ya, you know, low self-esteem, or they jealous. Obu nwanyi nwelu na-arụ with executives, mgbe ọbụla efe ya ọ na-eme meeting with ndị executive, ha ncha bụchara nwoke, yanwa bụrụ nwanyi, nwoke feel way inferior, feel way onye mama ya na ọga ya na alarụ, ịmagonu ihe na-enweghị isi abụrụzi ihe na-enweghị ihe ọ bụ abụrụ ọ natazi ọrụ isi ya gịnị ji wee mee ka ihe ji na-anata dị isi ma ọ sị gị o nna akwa agwa gị na ya nwee executive meeting agbasa ọrụ a ga-enwe executive ihe niile abụcha ihe na-eso na domestic violence.
My dear, I'm sorry, I will hear you. That now all these things rule now flag up, okay? Part of the reason so here domestic abuse in Abia, but it does not justify any of these. Here are all the excuses people will need. Some of them they want to be in competition with their partners.
Yes.
They believe they are in competition. Two people who not together now work together in a collaborative, cooperative, compete. I'm on competition. Actually may outdo the other. My dear, all these things are the justification. Now, the people who embark on this way of life, okay, they will always find reasons. Their reasons are numerous to mention. Some of them, in fact, and this is, it is scary. In fact, because you can't understand how somebody, each again, together and run all together, she develop this level of madness. When again, I was a competition. On a choice, and the other heavy actually scatter. I say, I'm going to pull the other down. But Mother Brian never want to say, I will pull him down. Yeah, when you dig him or I say, I will pull her down. I will pull a man, a man, no, I can on area. So
kind of from Barrister Jennifer. I know some of the things when it lead to domestic violence. Imana Abia, especially in America, no, Uncle Eze. As no more, especially in the arrogant nurse. Na ha bịa sie ha na achọzi iledi ha anya n'isi ha achọzi iburu nwoke na family. So so I mean, I ain't going to bank nwoke gbara nwunye egbe gbuo onye si ya ngwa n'okunye ebe a, stuff like that. Gịnị ka iche na-ebute ụmụ ihe ndị a? Because we've talked about jealousy, we've talked about low esteem, low self-esteem, we talked about anger. Iche na ụmụ nwaanyị so ọnụ ha na-agbata etetete. Iche na o so n'ihe na-ebute domestic violence n'ezinụlọ.
Like I said, I'm echoing. They said love does not hurt. Okay, somebody will not love. There is no love there, but for some reason, something brought you together. You know, struggling to make it work. You will be dating an other's now, believe it or not. Or when you have married, or you may have to say something that you love her, you can easily ignore or talk. Boy, that you go to an extreme. Okay, my mom was alive. Also, you can marry your enemy, believe it or not. And when you get to that level, something that is you can appreciate at any time will cause trouble. There will be no understanding at all. And not in a marriage or relationship, you notice there's such thing. Leave. It's not going to happen, and it will not happen. What you will end up doing, you get hurt each other. You get create bad name for yourself. And you check one of domestic violence, and then when stories, and when your story, and when my story, and then when the truth. Which the truth, not many people know it. About the two people that are involved knows the truth.
Yes.
Uncle Eze Ekwueme, he can reckon with that last one. That was the truth. When story came.
Absolutely.
Chineke nyere anyị aka. Emeka Oje, also another area of abuse is emotional abuse. Emotional abuse, which is more dangerous than physical abuse. We men are suffering real abuse from our women. Any abuser have suffered abuse. Any abuser have suffered abuse.
Absolutely.
Uncle Eze, I think on a confirm he could. No one will abuser. A mega experience. Either we need to.
Oh yeah.
On my family. Negi maybe merenaga abuse. So if you learn all the right way to live life, after all,
you're conditioned to see it as normal. You're conditioned to view it as a way of as a response. And when you're doing it, all you now do is to find excuses and reasons why you have to do it. Why it's a way of. In fact, some people will tell you this is how I am. It's like you that they abuse to have to adjust to how they
are.
You have, yes, you have to.
I'm a woman beater, so I can't help it.
That's it. Yeah, that is just me. I can't help it. That's it. So now it is down to you, the abused, to now begin to adjust yourself to accommodate the abuser's way of life. That is madness. So in fact, this thing, when you wonder how deep it is, on our tojo, because until you start living in an environment where you have to lock your room, okay, where you have to take something and wedge the door in order to sleep, so that so that the abuser before okay, waking you up. Until you start living that type of life on a day, you can't how this thing na torture the brain. This is even the through it, because all the worst thing in life, okay, because in one case, okay, you can defend yourself when you are awake, but what about when you are asleep?
Uncle Ezebiko, can you a personal question? What the got through domestic abuse?
In my experience. Yeah, because of course you can't talk about these things if you haven't really if you haven't really seen it.
Experienced it.
Already difficult. You can't even articulate it. Okay. And that's why in my last book, I dedicated my particular chapter to it, and I called it Generational Component to Domestic Violence. Because if when tactics an abuser Nana he use, an abuser feel that he or she will not be believed, they have to begin to work around making sure that way so that the world will think like with the abuser. Yes, in fact, to the extent that they will be attacking you, it's like somebody has coached them that now once they can get a neighbor to hear them screaming, then that means the abuser. But because we have God, there is this God people now and your heart very clean, your hand very clean. God will always find a way to make sure that the abuser does not succeed. All can he believe in God though? Because didn't believe in him. Now who can God again not there. But here my people water here, who I don't even want to dive into personal matters that much. The most important thing in Nacho highlight here was that abusers have different skills that they use to make sure to try to get their way, to try to make it real, to try to excuse themselves, to try to get people to believe them, or to try to get people to accept or tolerate their way of behavior. That is one thing I learned from it. And I give God the glory that in this life, people's background, when you examine it, help to get people to know where the truth lies, and also people's future life, because in a background, when present life, when future life, all those things come to build a story about an individual and the people. But the most important thing actually here that he already accept that this thing called domestic violence is evil and the cancer that needs everybody's input to root it. Only especially immediate families, and when I say immediate, I mean father, mother, brothers and sisters. Associates, friends, those ones. Father, mother, brothers and sisters. I am challenging them today. If all of you are against domestic violence, your relatives simple. Oh my challenge. What is the solution? That is the solution. Immediate families, father, mother, brothers and sisters. Ako no na domestic violence. Ako no ya. Ono kosi support ya. Yeah, simple. That is my view, and I can bet my life on it.
Dalo so, dalo. Ndi na anyị ha na support ihe na-ekwu. Ifi uchu bilo nkem delemo say you are right, sir. That's very correct. Ndị onye na-ajụ Rofina na-ajụ si, can alcohol and drugs make people more violent? Barrister, what do you think? Alcohol and drugs, can it make people more?
Absolutely. Because some people want some unfounded boldness. And the moment the effect of alcohol or drugs wears off, then you find out that they wouldn't even remember what they did. And this kind of abusers can be reformed in the sense that there is a contributing factor. So, but if they stay away from alcohol and drugs, something that triggers them that way, by the moment when they do, after the effect of the domestic violence, they're the nicest people you can ever think of. And now the dangerous. Guess no, you can't believe it. Because something that is influencing them to do that. And another thing you add up about this domestic violence, especially in Igbo parents should learn to welcome their children that are suffering from domestic violence.
Yes.
Our counterparts doing better. And this stigma, this taboo in England that only Agozela, and we should, that is need to be abolished. And not even you see so many people, because of being blackmailed, because of being called names, they stay in an abusive relationship and eventually die. It's unfortunate in the 21st century. And even parents will rather their children die in a domestic violence than come back to their father's house.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, I kwuru now ka Johnson Ifeanyi Ugwu na-ekwu. Also, some women sometimes stay in an abusive relationship because they want to remain married. And their parents keep admonishing them to endure the hardship that until they are killed. Parents have a big role to play in curbing this ugly trend, as men will be conscious of the implications of their in-laws' reaction before they act.
Yes, absolutely.
If you see one, mama anya sị gị, hey, mgbe nke anyị, ọkwa na o tiri ọma iwe, mana anyị jikwelie, ihe anachikwa ebe di gị, ọkwa ebe di gị inuwokwe di inuwokwe di. Agwa gị inuwo di inuwo di. O nwere nke anyị na WhatsApp. The woman ekworo di nwa ya bata.
No, the one
onye odia mmiri ka ọnwụ sị ọdia ngwa nọ n'oche ka nnụ ife nwere ikwu. Just na ọ sị na di etiri ya ife. Nwaanyị na ọ na gate si nwa ya nachi azụ. The girl na-anachi azụ na-ebe akwa na-ene anya dịka onye si nne m ajụkwuo m. Ndị be m ndị mụrụ m ajụkwuo m. Ọ dịrọ mma. Na ịnụrụ di abụghị gị iji ebe a nke oti oke afụgo m onye tiri kwanwu the man ndị Edo steeti pusuo nwunye ya aka nnọọ o were ekwe kụọ na wọl nna okwu agwụ nwoke na nwunye ya esi na Edo steeti jee Abuja jee bulu ozu nwa ha jee ni ụka agwụ maka na ndị na-eme ihe a ịkpọpụ ha court o nwere ike ha nwee influence ha ji ego especially na be anyị ọ bụghị ebe anyị ga-asị oke ka ikpe onwe ya ka enwee justice mana be anyị ọ bụghị na onye kpọrọ polisi na-ekpegbu the guy ewere influence ya enye ya 5 weeks in jail or more jail Ezem akpụ ya manslaughter akpụ ya something else ịghọtago ọ dịghị mma ka anyị nụrụ ihe CEO Prime Television nwere egwu anyị Ledin Malin onye ọcha chọọ ịbata ka ọ gwa anyị ihe o filụrụ maka domestic violence nnọọ
ụmụnne m ndewo no
ndewo
ịma ụfọdụ na-asị na fa bụ victims but o nwere ndị bụ victim karịa ibe fa and but ebe mmụọ si abịa ngụ mmụọ si abịa bụ n'oge ụfọdụ na ụmụ nwaanyị ma anyị na-anọ in denial ị na-anụ ife m na-ekwu
anụọgọ m
oge ụfọdụ anyị na-anọ in denial material things m ga-asụ ekwu English more material things na-abụkwa most of the major things. I'll take myself as an example. I'm not proud to say this, but it's real. It happened. I was so material because when mine was going on, we were so comfortable. OTCM otua. Ogotelum ring. And my like diamond and gold. Ogotelum diamond ring. I said, Mommy, mubiko buy aloma mara no genjimia. I will stay. Oge ụfọdụ m ga-achọ ka m pụọ. Nsị mba kwa m pụọ ka nwaanyị ọzọ bịa bukọrọ ife niile adị n'ụlọ. Nsị mba, I stayed. I will tell you, I took it all for 4 years. And these 4 years, including during pregnancy, over an instance, Ndime, almost about to put to birth, I was pushed and I rolled down the stairs. Akpọ police, nsị police rapia. Maka ọ na America ka anyị nọ. Achọrọ m itinye ya na nsogbu. Nsị police rapia na what reform me na ada kandal. Ife a made. And ọkwa ndị na-abụ sometimes it be some of your destiny. Because ejego m ije ugboro ịbụa in relationship in life. And both were physically abusive. I said, my study.
Baby.
I started blaming myself. And coming from Nigeria and Igbo, I didn't think anything like psychological, like going for psychology or whatever. the important. All I did was I stomached it until one day, like he said, when is it enough? Kedu oge a ga-asị na ozugbo? Ịma mma na oge a ga-asị na ozugbo until ịfụ ọnwụ n'anya. Ịma anwe ife ọ na-abụ ada akọlụ mmadụ nwere onye nkọlụ nke abata ana m akụ ya tata. Until ofu mbọsị etisi mụ nda ilo na m anwụgo kpọọ polisi. Ndị polisi jọmpụzia fence bịa rescue m ebulu m jebe ụlọ ọgwụ. Nke a bụ na London a. So ka m lutere n'ụlọ ọgwụ ma mị asị oke gwafa na accident nka nsị oke. Mgbe Chukwu meela m ebele ka m lute GP na ka oge ọ bụ sọsọ mụ na dọkịta ntetago dọkịta sị m nne ọ gịnị mere? Nsị na mma mmụọ asịkwala ya asị o na ọkwa di m tiri m ife. All doctors nyere m advice. Nwa gị dị 2 weeks old. Na eme gị ọzọ na ị ga-anwụ. Welụzie obi gị mara ife ị ga-eme. Na London a, onye ọbụla lara ụlọ mbunu moto gbaa ọsọ ọ ka nsi gbanarị domestic violence till date. Nwere onye nkọrọ this story. I would have been a victim. The next time would have been I say, okay, if it's na when there's a bulozu buna, but to a case one day, I send them na bia bulozu. Oh, go for the father me for faneme. On abu famesia for regret, and Kamu abu mesia, on a mommy, I must say to Beba mommy, mamma can see, or mommy feminine, mommy, I don't know what mommy, I don't. And then you know, Anna mommy, I don't know, go tell the king, go tell the king, go, you know, the loan. Highest 2 weeks was a bidokwa. Oda not 2 weeks. Was a especially nobodo. Imani nwere nna. In America, ga ụmụnne man, or even ogo ụmụnne mbịa. Your this I call the worst. Me for so I obele fi budget to ụmụnne gị. Or this I call the worst. I've been in London the same thing. So if I'm mezebo, nọrọzia lo onwe m so kwa ifulu ụmụ nwoke. Mfufa na agba that period. For 14 years.
Period there. If we had that was.
Hey, the Lioness, you know, because I went through it, and it's not easy at all, psychologically and otherwise. Well, I get Maggie feel like on a brother mad. You feel like on a walk out physical. You cannot be. You're not a human being. Because so ga when me go gi I believe I go get me go this that Arabic go gi and then you kuziri ụmụaka ibe kuziri na sebe onye ka nga kpọrọkwa na ụmụ mkpoje ebe ka nga kpọfaje ebe ka nga imago you hopeless or anything ọ bụrụ a good thing. And then if I govern our men ọ bụrụ na nọ Nigeria Chukwu amaghị ife nke ma ọ bụ na nọ Nigeria ọ ga-eji ụkwụ m jee straight in government house. One can with him about him. I want to rubbish here and a family can come in and then reconcile issues. Reconcile which issues? After 2 weeks, they will go again. Family organic until one was there. I would say, friends, isn't that to say I'm cover my own story? I continue on because sometimes I know the abused don't know when to leave. That's the major thing. We don't know. The victims don't know when to leave, and the abuser does not know when to stop. So it's one challenge that we have. We have to find a way to do it.
Eziokwu, ihe kwuru eziokwu. Daalụ Lady Marlene. Daalụ Lady Marlene. Igbo bụ Igbo na-anụgo ihe o kwuru. Nke a bụ nke ndị ọcha si I chop my mouth o liri m ọnụ. Ịghọtago? At least ka anyị malụ na ihe a na-akpọ domestic violence ọ bụrụ Nollywood.
Yes,
ọ bụghị acting. Ọ bụghị asị ọ na-eme n'etiti anyị. Ụfọdụ n'ime ndị na-awọchị anyị adị m sure na enye unu ohere ịbata unu ga-agwakwa anyị ofu ihe ndị ọzọ unu megoro experience maka na onye yi akpụkpọ ụkwụ ma ebe ọ na-afụ ya. Ịghọtago ruru nọ na-asị can lack of sex cause abuse? Yes, o nwere ike cause abuse for ndị abalị agba aka ha ihe nwetara ya machie gị ntị ọ nwaanyị natọsi di ya rụrụ 24 hours na ike adịghị ya nwoke na-ama ndịgwu ya ọ pụọ ọgụ rape abanye na ya ịghọtago ihe niile a so na ihe na-akọs domestic abuse mana I believe room na nwere ụzọ ka mma a ga-eji wee mee na-abụrụ tigbuo ụzọ gbuo na-abụrụ iwere aka because mba ọ dịghị mma at all. Tina Amuzie ekene gị ka isi nọnyere anyị ọ sị one's inability to deal with life's challenges either in their careers or in society could lead to domestic violence. Yes, onye ihe na-esiri ike ọ na-esi like Christmas anụwa now edu Malaysia ga-abata ọchịrị ga-abata nke nwanọ na South ga-abata inesi ụmụ nwoke ibe gị ha na-ede gai ịghọtago onye yicha oyiri nke a na-ekofe akpa nke a na-ekofe ihe na-amara ihe dị n'ime ya na-akpagharị yiri short dị ka yiri nke ya na-akpa ya ịghọtago yiri Nike yiri Gucci inezi anya ọ dịghị ka Chineke abụrụ gị ọnụ so ha were iwe ahụ hụcha ibe ha na joint nata n'ụlọ ezuo nwaanyị ike n'ahụ ịghọtago ọ dịrọ mma aka niile ahụ apụ edu Malaysia na edu India hapụcha because agwa gị ihe o mere jewe ebe a ma ihe o mere nweta ego ọ kakwara gị mma na igwe ogbenye nọrọ ebe ị nọ ịghọtago oge nke gị akwa mgbochi ga-ekewa ka ndị ụka si wee kwu ya ralụ ndule daalụ ka isi nọnyere anyị odogwu na n'Igbo adịrị gị mma Johnson Ifeanyi some victims enable domestic violence. Yes, it's possible. That is very possible. Mana if I na-ekwu tata bụ ihe ọbụla sorry anya mee ya enable. Please, domestic violence abụrụ the last option. Ị like roz nwaanyị na-anụ igwe ya na ọchọghị m na ọ ga-adaba. Uncle Eze ka ị chọrọ ikwu.
Biko, the Lioness na barrister, Biko no. I have another meeting coming up in the next 2 minutes. Because I'm add this before I go. You
go on. That's fine.
I got 1 hour. Yeah, because
I
area on your wall because when mother abụọ ga-ebiri anagaghị enwe conflict wo a means of working out solutions and growing. Biko mgbe ọwụla enwere conflict ihe ọwụla wụ na oke ọ na-abụ enwere different opinions, okay? Ya dịka onwere otu oshi hit up. Biko onye ọwụla diffuse by stepping back and already to give yourself a break and leave. Onye achọkwala ibe ya achọ ebe nwere ndị wo eme ha ga-achọrọ onye na-live si ọkajole ọbịa nga na ka ga-ahụ isi taa. We must learn to manage all these emotions because emelumala we are all human beings. So remember okwu na-aga ụzọ abụọ. Ya ga ụzọ abụọ ihe na-arịọ people wo eruhala mgbe ahụ mere ka o mere hit just onye ọbụla give space. Onye ọbụla give space. Okay? Onye agawule aroshi na a ga-ekwucha a ga-ahụ isi taa mba ya wo onwe okwu na-eru gị ma na oke orole onye ọgba just onye ọbụla bakodo because emelumala human beings issues ga-abịarịrị ihe eji bring together where a ga-enwe divergence of opinions. Okay? Ya meghara ka ohitele just walk yourself back and walk yourself out. And the other person ekwesịghị ga-achụ onye ka ahụ gawa mba no you must there's no need for all that. People really need to learn to comport themselves in relationships, remembering that every issue with a resolution will take your time to do it. Because I hope you don't mind. God bless you. I'm late.
Thank you very much. Ndewo barrister anyị ga-wrap ya up 1 hour agago. Kedu ihe nwere advice ị nwere ike inye ndị na-aga through domestic violence being a law person yourself ka ọ ghara iru na that stage, kedu ihe ị nwere ike ịgwa ụmụ Igbo?
Firstly, advice to Igbo parents. Nwa nwaanyị nọta si gị na ya na-aga through domestic violence nabata most of the time, even the man will get counseling in civilized world, and a moon advice to attend that counseling from 2 different places. Don't be on the same roof and attend counseling. That's the joke. About again, in this particular case, I now discuss today. This lady was a medical doctor on a platform. So many women in Nigeria would have been looking up to her. So look, our medical doctor now got through domestic violence, and she has the strength to move out. She could have created a platform. She didn't.
Yes.
The government wife, when every opportunity to create a platform to bring awareness to the danger of domestic violence, she did it. The executive governor, when the platform, he used this man, let's here an example, to at least raise a judicial president that in this 21st century, domestic violence is not allowed and it cannot be tolerated in a civilized society. He fell in that. So my advice to anybody like that with domestic violence, you are not alone, and you cannot be alone. It's an continuing thing. Unfortunately, the statistics go higher every year, which means so many men and women are becoming crazier by the day. It's okay to be single. It's okay to raise your child alone in a loving home that they will cherish. There is, I was having a conversation with a man, the young man. The mother stayed in a domestic violence because of the children. Yes, I grew up not knowing what normality looks like, because all he knew in his life was the domestic violence, the bad treatment, and everything. And I'm sure it dropped me. August, I said because of my children. Women, men, you don't have to stay in an abusive relationship because of your children. You are damaging them. You are creating a next generation of abusers by staying there. That's a bad mistake. It's better to come from a broken home than to live in one. You can come out of a broken home and be something in your life. Barack Obama was raised by a single mother. That is one thing that you know. But there are some lunatics out there that grow up with their fathers and their mother under the same roof. It is good if there is a conducive environment for that. We should say no to domestic violence. Speak out against domestic violence. It is okay to live. It is okay to live your life alone and be happy. But it's not okay to die of something you could have avoided in 21st century.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Barrister Doma Jennifer Ekwueme. I can agree but the founder of Helen UK Project. All projects in Afumaka domestic violence. In Anya ifuna own passion for it. You know, Biba and Kate Oji don't work a Benue State. When I want to talk about Bibe Abo. Iwagezi oku obru na nwoke ahụ na akpọpụtara ya n'ọha at least pia 24 ụmụ nwoke ga na-eche na-eti nwunye ha ihe enyegodi ofuke disgrace ofuke asị just apipia koboko etu a ndị ama ejidi ofu onye ejidi ya here gbaa ya ndị MBS na-akpọ ụkpa agba ya akpọ ụkpa like this. It wouldn't happen. He wouldn't try it next time. I'm telling you, that domestic violence, maybe in a very subtle way. Or physical abuse, maybe a mental abuse. After all, the one when I do last time, what did they do me? Not what's happen? I go do them again, nothing will happen. How the only one of that? He go they take them, they taunt the woman for house. Well, see, what if Obuna Baba Governor Putasi, Onyaze, na your stage, you him and wine, you guinea and Jim Wanaka, 2 weeks old, because how many weeks old? I'm put it to a so tally. ụtalị enwe ife ọzọ m sise eme anya ewere ezigbo ụtalị etu in public tinyekwa ya na vidiyo otu n'ụwa niile na-afụ ya onweghị onye ga-eme ya ege onweghị onye ga-eme ya ege so na ị bịara bịa ikpeziere ha enye ha pure water ha ṅụọ eme exchange of drink I love you ihe na-ebe nọ ka gakwa na-ebe ọ dịghị mma biko nụ ndị be anyị onye nwa ya na-agabiga domestic violence etekina ya easy tiwe kpọba akpọba ọ bụrụ ikpọ oku ụmụnna na ndị bụ ọgụ unu si nekwa ihe nwa gị nwaanyị kwu nekwa mak ịfụrụ ya n'arụ nekwa ihe ọ na-agabiga tiwe na-etiwe kpọba akpọba asịkwa na a ga-asịkwa na nwa ya natara onye asịkwa nwa ya hapụ na di ọ kara m nwa na nwa m dị ndụ bụrụ a single parent zụọ ụmụ ya n'ụzọ ziri ezi ha dị happy dan na nje ebula ozu bịa nie ọ bụrụ ife anyị chọọ anyị ga-agbapụ ya ọsọ kịta ekene m ndị niile joinere anyị tata echezo na Udeze anyị nọrọ ife ikwuru ọsị most men involved in domestic violence are those involved in cheating their wife with side chick. Most of them have gone far with side chick to the extent of marrying the side chick and that leads to domestic violence. Ọ ihe mere eme daalụ nọ Colette Ada Ekenze Igboma original nwanyị daalụ ka isi wee nọnyere anyị ana m ekene nna Maduka daalụ ka isi wee nọnyere anyị Barrister Njideka Nnajiri ndewo Johnson Ifeanyi Ugwu Tina Amuzie daalụ nọ ka unu si wee nọnyere anyị Rufina Adimora Ifi Nkem Delim daalụ nọ Emeka Oje anyị ekene m unu rinne ọ dị ndewonu unu emeela otu unu si nọnyere anyị ga-agbapụ ya ọsọ anyị ga-abịakwa na izuụka na-abịa abịa n'uhuruchi mgbe ọ kụrụ elekere anyị 5 nke mgbede anyị ga-eji isiokwu ọzọ wee bịa eji m aka na unu ga-enwe ike nọnyekwara anyị n'izuụka na-abịa abịa biko n'afa ndị niile na-arụ na Prime Television nke nọ na obodo London ana m ekene unu Chidera na Ogidi anyị na-asị gị kara obi onye nwa bụ the director na Prime View Television o liri mama ya abalị 2 na 3 gara aga n'Ogidi anyị na-asị gị kara obi nwanne anyị nwoke anyị kene Chukwu na ihe niile gbasara olili nne gị gara ọfụma n'oge na-adịghị anya anyị ga-enwetakwa gị back to London biko mgbe ọbụla ị ga-anata ije gị ga-abụ ije awele biko kenere anyị ezinụlọ unu niile ndị be ana-enwenu niile anyị na-asị unu kara obi ndewo anyị na-ekenekwa Lady Malin onye ọcha onye nwa bụ the CEO yes isi afụlụkwaba okpu na Prime View Television anyị kene gị ezi ada na Abia steeti ọ ga-abalị oge anyị na-ekenekwa Prince Ezem Ihenacho onye bịa nọnyere anyị all the way from America anyị kene gị rinne otu isi wee nọnyere anyị ọ gbapụ gị ọsọ maka na o nwere ọgbakọ ọzọ ọ na-agbaji ya ka m nwekwara ohere na-akele Lady and Barrister Jennifer Adoma Ekwueme anyị kene gị nwaanyị ọma ana m akpọ ya tomato Biafra ụdara mmecha yes anyị kene gị ka isi wee nọnyere anyị ndewo Igbo bụ Igbo ọ ka bụkwa m bụ Adabuzo ndị Abia steeti the Lioness eletrik nwaanyị oji ọ na-eri nke izizi ọ ka bụkwa m na-ewetara unu ozi ekene na-asị unu ka ụbọchị wiki nke na-abịa abịa izuụka na-abịa abịa ka ọ mara anyị mma anyị ga na-eje na-abata pọmpụ anyị ga na-agba ori ihe ga-emechi ya this Christmas period anyị ga-agba ya n'ahụ isi ike na ndụ ọ ga-abala gị bara m ndewo
Prime View TV, new media with a difference. Ogbako Ndigbo. Igbo ezukọta. Ogbako Ndigbo.